A lot of times I hear immigrants are drug traffickers, they're just here to steal our jobs.
They come here and hurt our economy, perpetuate gang and cartel and drug violence, all this kind of third.
They don't add value to our economy, to our communities.
A lot of the stereotypes that I hear are that migrants are coming here and taking our jobs, when in reality that's not true. I'm very frustrated with the fact that people think that immigration is a choice. It's really not. If it were a choice, then people wouldn't be walking 5 days in the desert without food or water. That's not a decision that you make freely. It's people are migrating to the U.S. because of U.S. policies that have been implemented throughout history that have caused lack of jobs, that have caused poverty, that have caused the inability to access basic human necessities such as water. Part of Mexico is in the desert, and in those places water is owned by companies and people can't just go and ask for water. They have to pay for it, but many people earn less than $5 a day, and when you earn that little you have to prioritize what you can and can't purchase, and that leads to the lack of water and food. A lot of babies are drinking like Coca-Cola instead of water because Coca-Cola is cheaper.
A lot of migrants need to make money and want to come to the United States in order to work and find a job to make some money and support their family, but it doesn't mean that they want to stay in the United States forever. And I think that's another myth that happens a lot in the United States, is thinking that these migrants want to come and stay here and take up our jobs and never come back to their home country, but that's actually not true. The way that our immigration system is set up now is so that when they come here, it's impossible for them to go back.
I think one of the most frustrating things about immigration that people talk about is that they refer to the migrants as illegal, and just for me, I can never imagine any person being deemed illegal. I think that illegal is supposed to only refer to laws or actions that people do, but humans themselves can never be illegal.
People don't really talk about them like they're humans. They don't talk about them like they deserve respect and basic human rights. Me and Amore were talking about how the media portrays immigrants, and they say that they're coming, like the media says that they're coming here in like swarms, and they basically are comparing them to insects, and insects are like gross and unwanted, and usually just smash them, right? So with that comparison, it's like really dehumanizing and unfair to people who just want better lives or want to get back to their families.
I think the border needs to liven up because that wall is so daunting, and it's just like this huge towering rusty structure that I just can't imagine how we can be so hostile to people who are also people, and they're just trying to live a good life just as everyone else is, but I feel like there should be more of a collaboration and more love along that border, and it's the opposite. It's just so daunting and scary to just even be near the wall.
Immigration is a human right. You have the right to move, wherever you please, or into a better, more suitable place, for you and yours. It's not seen as bad or evil, and it's a shame that the U.S. is one of the only countries that makes it a heinous crime.
So Operation Streamline ties into the prison industrial complex. The prison industrial complex is where private companies will own prisons, and these prisons are funded by the government. So the government will pay for people to fill bed quotas. Bed quotas are usually filled by migrants through Operation Streamline. Operation Streamline is the process in which 535 migrants per day are put on trial for attempting to cross into the U.S. illegally. This is not through a port of entry, so it's through the desert, through the river, very extreme conditions. This process is extremely problematic because migrants will often not know their rights and only be told that the only two options that they have are to plead guilty and serve a shorter time in prison, which is from 30 days to 365 days, or plead not guilty but then go through extremely difficult process of trying to prove themselves innocent, and usually they are proven guilty, and that results in longer prison sentences, years on end.
Something that we learned, a lot of people were saying in Tucson, Arizona, that Arizona is a big place for hate and a big place where immigrants or the act of illegal migration is very hated. And we even heard that Arizona is one of the most racist states in the United States. And the reason for that is that in April 2010, Governor Jan Brewer signed the Senate Bill 1070, and pretty much this is the strictest and broadest anti-illegal immigration measure. And what that does is it gives migrants who enter illegally a state misdemeanor crime for not carrying the required documents. So pretty much any law enforcement can stop someone on the road who looks like an illegal immigrant and ask for their papers, and if they don't have the right sort of documentation, they can be arrested and they can be sentenced to deportation.
Differences should be celebrated. Like, these should be the things that really move us forward and provide different perspectives. But for us in the US, differences seem to be a dividing factor, and we don't want anyone who's different from us, and we're gonna think of every excuse to keep them out.
Currently, our government is criminalizing the natural process of migration. We're the only country in the entire world that does this. We are spending money on punishing people for trying to survive, taxpayers' money. We are allowing deaths to occur every day because we are afraid of recognizing how much we rely on migrants and how much our economy has bolstered because of their labor.
You don't have to be, let's say, undocumented or have a relative that's undocumented to empathize with immigration and understand the issue and want to, do something about it.
Immigration is not bad. Humans are not illegal, and that human needs should come before corporate greed.
In this situation, our community should be humanity in general. Like, we are all humans, all trying to live a good life, and we should all provide those means and provide people with those opportunities, and really take care of each other, because how else are we going to move forward together if we don't care for other people around us?